So we're just having this quick meeting with Marla Smith, who's the Executive Director of Niagara Children's Centre in St. Catharines, Ontario. And so we're just gonna have a quick chat about their experience with BarterPay and BarterPay It Forward and just how it all works for them as an organization. So thank you, Marla, for joining us.
So Niagara Children's Centre serves the entire region of the Niagara area, which works out to 13 municipalities. If you're not familiar with what Niagara Children's Centre does, we provide therapy and support services for children and their families for communicative, developmental, and augmentative communication support.
From what I understand, you guys are servicing close to 6,000 children across Niagara region. Is that correct? Or?
That's right. We serve 5,800 kids from across the entire region.
Wow, that's amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Well, what a great mission. We love being part of it and being able to support you through the BarterPay It Forward Foundation, which we know is really funded. Our foundation is funded from the BarterPay members themselves, the thousands of businesses that we have across the country who are part of BarterPay. They're now, offering up their downtime, their idle inventory, using those, getting those barter credits and using them to help their business, but they're also donating them to our foundation, which then these funds, barter credits, can flow through to amazing organizations like Niagara Children's Centre and 100 other charities across the country and growing. Just a couple weeks ago, we were able to direct about 6,000 barter credits your way, which I believe you guys kind of converted into other products that you could then flow back through your online auction and convert back into cash. Now, when that happens and it produces another $6,000 worth of cash value, like cash for the organization, can you define kind of how, what that means for Niagara Children's Centre in terms of having an extra $6,000 cash to be able to put towards your end cause? Like what would you do with those types of funds?
So absolutely. I think first, the most important thing is really just to thank the BarterPay members for stepping forward and wanting to support organizations like Niagara Children's Centre. When we heard that we were going to be the recipient of 6,000 BarterPay credits, we were definitely excited that BarterPay members were interested and able to support the good work taking place at Niagara Children's Centre, and we were very moved by that. We fortunately also had an online auction that was taking place. This is the second year we've been doing our online auction, and anybody that's done an online auction before would know that they do take time and human resources away from other projects that you're working on. So to be gifted 6,000 credits that we were able to purchase items that we can put in our auction really helps keep cost of fundraising lower and using our human resource time in a more efficient manner. So it's an investment in not only our organization, but also our capacity to do more for our community.
These barter credits flow through to you guys. You go in and use them to buy these products. They just don't show up out of nowhere. We have a team of what we call barter coaches across the country that work with all of our business clients, but we also have the same group of barter coaches that work with our charity clients. And so I know Susan Olson and James Olson, who own BarterPay Niagara, and their staff, but Susan in particular is your barter coach and help facilitate this transaction so that you guys could get back those products to flow back through your auctions.
It was so great to work with somebody local like Susan, who is familiar with Niagara Children's Centre and the good work that we're doing here in the community, and having her just support us in what we were doing. Her friendly advice and quick responses to any questions or comments that we had was fabulous. Mm-hmm. She even went as far as to say, I took a look at your auction and I had an idea of what you were looking for, and I have these other products that may be of interest. So she took that step farther for us to really be able to personalize that connection for the needs that we have and the options that are available at BarterPay. So that synergy was really important and separates BarterPay from other organizations.
Absolutely. It also, like you just mentioned, human resources at charitable organizations tend to be often stretched to capacity. So, no one likes to take on an extra project or have to figure out an extra system or a way of, in this case, of obtaining products or services for the organization. So to have that real life person that's a conduit and can be that almost like an extension of your team is a really important role that we know helps bridge the gap between our business clients and our charities and just keeps the whole system functioning properly. So we're glad that relationship is there. And I know that it's just going to keep blossoming. And on that note, a lot of organizations, charities, your main donor base, for example, I know when they donate funds, they like to see their dollars, their precious cash go right towards the programming. It's very difficult to find support for admin and overhead costs because that's not as sexy, right? Like paying for office chairs or painting a building or doing a bit of construction or that sort of thing is not something that donors usually like to get behind because they don't want to see high amounts of overhead inside the charitable organizations.
So many nonprofits own buildings, rent buildings, and a fact of business and home ownership is maintenance on buildings. And that's a fact of doing business in any type of industry. But you're right, John, the average person doesn't want to support it. But BarterPay does have an interesting way to be able to leverage those things that housekeeping work that still needs to get done with organizations that are local right here. And from my experience in Niagara, that can provide those services for us. So for example, if we needed to certify our therapists in first aid, we could work with the BarterPay organization to be able to cut those fundings down, use BarterPay credits that we've been gifted to be able to do that. If flooring needs to get replaced, you're right, donors and people from the community, they're not as interested in that. But people that are already connected to BarterPay, organizations that provide those services, that can gift that as credits to organizations like Niagara Children's Center, provide an invaluable service that we wouldn't be able to get from the average donor.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And we know that you guys are doing amazing work in the community, and we couldn't think of a better organization to really get behind with BarterPay It Forward. And we look forward to just ramping this thing up. I know it's about 6,000 or 7,000 or whatever that's gone through so far, but we feel that over the course of the next year or 2 years, as we get that relationship going, we know your purchasing and your cycles and things like that, we can ramp that up to hopefully 30, 40, 50 grand per year in continual giving from our program. And again, the spotlight needs to be shone back on the BarterPay members themselves. BarterPay is just the system that we've created, the system for making this all work. But without our important clients, they're the real life superheroes of this whole program that are actually converting their idle time and downtime and idle inventory into barter credits that they can use for themselves and to pay it forward through our foundation. So thanks for sitting down with us. We really appreciate it, and all the best as you continue to do the great work you're doing in the community. We really appreciate what you're doing there in the Niagara region.
Thank you.